Tom Cruise, one of Hollywood's biggest stars, has had his fair share of ups and downs in his life, but his greatest sadness may stem from childhood trauma and a long period of loneliness in his personal life. Born Thomas Cruise Mapother IV on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York, Cruise grew up in an unstable family. His father, Thomas Mapother III, was an electrical engineer, but also a violent father who often beat and verbally abused his wife and children. Cruise once described his father as a bully and a chaotic person who left him in constant fear. When Cruise was 11 years old, his mother, Mary Lee, decided to leave her abusive husband, taking Tom and his 3 sisters with her to start a new life in Syracuse. This separation, though necessary, left Cruise with a huge void in his father's heart. He has said that he longed for a father figure who could guide and protect him, but instead he was met with harshness and distance. This sadness did not stop with his childhood. As an adult, Cruise faced emotional scars from failed relationships and constant public criticism of his religious beliefs, specifically the Church of Scientology. He has said that loneliness was an inevitable part of his life, even in the midst of his fame. Divorces, especially his tumultuous split from Katie Holmes, deepened this sadness. The fractured relationship with his daughter Suri, with whom he has had little contact since the divorce, is a wound that Cruise rarely talks about publicly, but those close to him say is the greatest pain of his life. The loss of his father, combined with painful childhood memories, created a complex Tom Cruise who tried to hide his sadness behind a bright smile and energetic action roles. Tom Cruise's career is an inspiring story of perseverance, ambition, and even extreme challenges. From a dyslexic boy who grew up in poverty, Cruise rose to become one of the highest-paid and most influential actors in Hollywood. His journey began in the early 1980s when he moved to New York to pursue his acting dreams. His breakthrough role in Risky Business, 1983, with a dancing scene in his shirt and underwear, made him a youth icon of the decade. This was followed by Top Gun, 1986, the film that catapulted Cruise to global superstardom as the arrogant but charming pilot Maverick. The film was not only a box office success, but also established Cruise as an action star with an irresistible charisma. Cruise has achieved great success throughout his career. He received 3 Oscar nominations for his roles in Born on the 4th of July, 1989, Jerry Maguire, 1996, and Magnolia, 1999, proving that he was not only an action star, but also an actor with depth. The Mission Impossible series, which began in 1996, has become one of the most successful action film franchises of all time, with Cruise performing his own stunts, from swinging on a wire from the Burj Khalifa to clinging to the wings of a plane taking off. This dedication not only wowed audiences, but also cemented his reputation as an actor who was not afraid to take risks to deliver the ultimate cinematic experience. However, Cruise's career has not always been smooth sailing. He has faced several failures, both commercially and critically. Cocktail, 1988, was criticized for being superficial, while The Mummy, 2017, failed to launch a new cinematic universe. Controversies surrounding his beliefs in the Church of Scientology have also affected his public image. In 2005, a public row with Brooke Shields over her use of antidepressants, and a sofa-hopping incident on The Oprah Winfrey Show to declare her love for Katie Holmes made him the focus of criticism. Many felt that this behavior severely damaged his image, causing him to lose support from a segment of the audience. Tom Cruise has always set high goals in his career and life. One of the biggest achievements he has never stopped pursuing is becoming a lasting cinematic icon. Unlike many actors who focus on one genre, Cruise has tried to reinvent himself over the decades, from romantic roles in Jerry Maguire to breathtaking action roles in Mission Impossible. He once shared that his dream is to be remembered as someone who brings joy and inspiration through his films. To achieve this, Cruise has never stopped learning, from doing his own action stunts to working with legendary directors like Martin Scorsese, Oliver Stone, and Steven Spielberg. In addition, Cruise also aims to build a legacy in the film industry through his role as a producer. He co-founded Cruise Wagner Productions, the company behind many successful films such as The Last Samurai, 2003, and the Mission Impossible series. Creative control and quality assurance are things Cruise has always pursued, even if it requires him to work non-stop. Another achievement Cruise has aspired to is maintaining a connection between his work and his personal values. As a devout member of the Church of Scientology, he credits his beliefs with helping him overcome dyslexia and other struggles in his life. He has spent years defending and promoting Scientology, although this has often been controversial. For Cruise, staying true to his beliefs is a major accomplishment, despite public criticism. Lastly, Cruise has always strived to be a good father, although this has not always been easy. He has said that his children are his greatest motivation, and he tries to make time for them despite his busy schedule. However, his estranged relationship with Suri is a challenge he is still working through, with the hope that one day he can mend it. Tom Cruise has had 3 marriages, each of which has left a lasting mark on his life. His first marriage to actress Mimi Rogers, 1987 to 1990, was the turning point in his introduction to the Church of Scientology. Rogers, a member of the church, introduced Cruise to the religion, and he was quickly drawn in by its promises of self-improvement. However, the marriage soon fell apart due to personality differences and the pressures of Cruise's rising career. He has admitted that he was not ready for the responsibilities of a husband at the time, and the separation left him feeling like a failure. Cruise's second marriage to Nicole Kidman, 1990 to 2001, was one of the most notable periods in his life. The two met on the set of Days of Thunder, 1990, and quickly fell in love. They became a Hollywood power couple, co-starring in Far and Away, 1992, and Eyes Wide Shut, 1999. However, the marriage was also tumultuous. The pressures of their careers, the interference of Scientology, and disagreements over child support, they adopted 2 children, Isabella and Connor, led to a rift. When Kidman filed for divorce in 2001, Cruise said he was completely surprised and deeply hurt. He described it as one of the most difficult periods of his life, as he came to terms with the loss of a family he had believed would last. His third marriage to Katie Holmes, 2006 to 2012, began like a fairy tale. Cruise was fiercely public about his love for Holmes, from couch dancing on Oprah to romantic red carpet photos. They welcomed daughter Suri in 2006, and Cruise seemed to have found true happiness. However, the marriage was not sustainable. Holmes, feeling controlled by Scientology and concerned about the cult's influence on Suri, filed for divorce in 2012. The split was not only a shock to Cruise, but also isolated him from his daughter Suri, whom Holmes had full custody of. Cruise's greatest heartbreak in love may have been his failure to maintain a family, especially since he had always longed for a stable marriage to make up for the deprivations of his childhood. Each failed marriage left Cruise with emotional scars, but he never gave up hope for love. However, he has admitted that the loneliness after each breakup was the hardest thing to overcome, especially when he faced constant media scrutiny. Tom Cruise is the father of 3 children: Isabella Jane Cruise, born 1992, Connor Cruise, born 1995, both adopted during his marriage to Nicole Kidman, and Suri Noel, born 2006, with Katie Holmes. Cruise's relationship with his children is an important but complicated part of his life. Cruise maintains a close relationship with Isabella and Connor, especially since they both practice Scientology and live close to their father. Isabella, an artist and fashion designer, has said that she admires her father's dedication and work ethic. Connor, a DJ and actor, is also often seen with Cruise at events. However, their relationship was reportedly affected by Cruise and Kidman's divorce, when both children chose to stay with their father and Scientology, leading to an estrangement from their mother. Cruise's relationship with Suri, however, is a different story. After his divorce from Katie Holmes in 2012, Cruise lost contact with his daughter. Holmes gained custody of Suri, and she was raised in New York, away from the influence of Scientology. Cruise reportedly rarely saw Suri, and the relationship between father and daughter became distant. This is said to be one of the biggest pains in Cruise's life, although he rarely talks about it publicly. Those close to him revealed that Cruise always wanted to be closer to Suri, but disagreements with Holmes and his busy schedule made it difficult. Despite this, Cruise always tried to portray the role of a devoted father. He has shared that his children are his biggest motivation, and he always tries to spend time with them even when he is filming abroad or busy with big projects. With Isabella and Connor, he regularly called and participated in their activities, from supporting Connor's career to praising Isabella's artwork. However, the separation from Suri is still an open wound, and many believe it is one of the things that bothers Cruise the most. Katie Holmes, who was Tom Cruise's wife from 2006 to 2012, rarely spoke publicly about their marriage after their divorce.